Stretching.
And welcome to another episode of That's Debatable. My name is Ryan Dietrich. This is episode number 26.
26.
Half a year. We've been going at this almost half a year. We got the AFC and NFC championships in the books. Like I said, I'm Ryan Dietrich, here with my boys Will Ward and Jeremiah Bays. I'll let you two welcome us in. How we doing, fellas?
Hey, you got the floor. You got the floor. You got the floor.
Hey, who they?
Welcome. I ain't saying I've been riding this train for a long time, but I'm one of the conductors. I go by the name of Will Ward for you guys who joined in for the first time in this show. You see the voice may be a little raspy. I was doing a little screaming last night. I was due for it. So been waiting for a long time to see this, and it's just a glorious day in America when you can say who they and somebody says it, who they. So, hey, welcome to the show. Appreciate you for tuning in. It's going to be one of them type of shows that we won't forget for a long time.
You got your shades on just like your man Joe Cool.
Hey, Joe Cool. I said we was going to be in L.A. last week, and we there. I got the shades ready because it's going to be bright and entertaining in L.A. next week. So
you're looking pretty fly, but not quite as fly as Mr. Joe B right there. Dude, if you want to roll into a big game in the opponent's home turf, man, that's how you do it. I love it, man. Swagger all day for such a young guy.
Kid's amazing.
Dude got it done. Excuse me.
Wasn't too many that believed.
Dude, no, not at all, man.
You know, they was repping for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was expected. The pretty much first year Joe Burrow he had to have a season last year, and the newcomer, that's why I rep this hat today. This is #1 draft pick for Jamar Chase. He came in and did amazing things, so it's been one heck of a ride, and we finally here, but it's not over with yet. They still have one more game to kind of solidify everything that they've done this season. So it's good to get here, but it's going to be even better to actually win it. So the job is not done yet, in the words of Kobe Bean Bryant once said that. We haven't done anything yet. We've here, but still a lot more work to be done. So continue to keep watching, and we got them big B's out there to believe. 513, we finally on the map, and we getting taken serious. Put some respect on that name. Who they?
Man, you got that right. First time Bengals been to the Super Bowl since the 1988 season.
Yes,
Boomer Esiason.
I was not born.
Yeah, I would have been like 10 months old.
And I was just a wee little grasshopper, probably about 3 years old, 2 years old. So,
yeah, and Joe Burrow the first #1 overall pick in the draft to get to the Super Bowl within his first 2 seasons. So hell of an accomplishment there. But you can't just put it on Joe Burrow. Nope. Obviously, there's a big helping dose of the rest of the squad in there. So
especially that defense.
Yep.
Defense definitely stood up, allowing only 6 points both times we played them, allowing 6 points in the second half.
There you go, yeah.
That's 1 feet that goes down. Didn't win the coin toss. That shook up some Bengals, but I was cool, cooler than Joe B. So didn't panic, don't panic. I knew after they stopped Tyreek Hill right before halftime, I knew that it was going to be in the right direction. If they would have scored at halftime, before halftime, I probably think it would have been a different outcome in the second half, but them standing up, that defense prevailing, and really didn't get too much pressure on Patty Mack, but they did just enough in the second half to actually do what we thought we were set out to do. So
that's a great little synopsis there, and those are the 2 big things we got to talk about on the show. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right in. We'll break down the AFC and NFC championships. We got some highlight packages, some clips like that, and then we'll take second half of the show. We got probably a little short hour. We'll cover the NBA, a little bit of college, kind of goings on around there. So it's going to be heavy focus on the NFL because it's a big day for all of us in here. Big weekend. So I got a quick little highlight package. Well, it's not quick, about 4 minutes. Kind of just the best cuts from the AFC Championship game. So I'll let you boys go ahead and, chit-chat over the top. But what do they say? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey, yes, sir.
It's first and goal. From the 10.
At the beginning of the game. That's what I was saying. Not a lot of pressure on Patty Mack. He was able to just scramble around, look for the back of the end zone.
Touchdown!
You just see it coming.
Tyreek Hill!
Once he started rolling,
3rd and 5.
it's always going to be long plays.
Joe Burrow doing it with his legs, man. He was big. Couple of clutch third down conversions with his feet. A little bit of contact there. What do you think, Will? PI or no? Let him play.
At this point of the game, you let him play. You can't let the referees. We've seen that in other games. The referees kind of deciding on plays. If this is football, you're going to get physical sometime. Every play isn't going to be called a penalty. Some that you need, there's others that weren't called. But at the end of the day, I think.
Speaking of PI, I think this is the Eli Apple right here, which sets up. Yeah, I think that's a KC touchdown.
They connect again for a touchdown.
This was rolling.
Fake to Edwards-Helaire.
That's what I was looking like. Oh, maybe it's heavy blowout.
And if you see the clock at the bottom, it went from 3-0 to 3-21 in about, of course, 15 game minutes. Dude, T. Higgins, man, dude came up big time. Huge clutch there right there.
For some reason, not retired.
That was huge right there.
It is.
Higgins, both of those, concentration, setting up the
second and 12.
or the touchdown here at the end of the second half.
Samaje P. Ryan out of Oklahoma. Put more moves, and you see more importantly the block downfield by Chase.
Huge block downfield.
And his openings, able to get open, but his blocking downfield is superb.
And yeah, cut to the second. Excuse me. Last play before the second half, there's that PI, which, for sure sets him up right in the red zone. Goal to go from the 2-yard line.
That's blatant. That's just clear right there. The goal line stands right here, what I'm saying. This big hit right here.
And I'm going to ask you some questions about that play call once we get done here with this a little bit and ask you about their halftime adjustments. But that was a huge stand for the Bengals there going into half. T. Higgins, dude, doing it again.
Just like Gabriel did last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Worried about the number one.
Yep. Man, McPherson.
The number twos.
Give that boy a contract.
That's really
that was huge.
Arguably the best rookies. That's
picked off by Cincinnati.
Yeah. Big one.
Now easily the biggest play
I mean,
of the
this is what they needed.
He'll see more action
That's exactly what they needed.
You have to win on all three phases of the field at all times. And by having McPherson being able to chip it in, Jared has said at the beginning of the season, the kicker got one job, and that's to make those field goals. So
I like McPherson kicking game-winning field goal in my face. This is his first field goal game winner.
Forget about it.
I seen his first field goal game winner. Hey, man.
A 2-point conversion at a big time. That was big, too.
This game is tied.
It was at this point when Kansas City moved. They messed up.
already knew it was number 11.
Looks downfield.
Now this right here, I kind of got I'm not going to say nervous, but it was one of those plays where it was actually an offsides on that play. You rewind it or, you look back at it a little later.
Right.
This is the biggest play of the game right here. By him escaping, that was a Heisman Trophy moment, an MVP type moment. That's where the Reigns has transitioned from their momentum into full reigns of Cincinnati. So 2 escapes right there and 2 first downs. So them moving and allowing him to set up this kick right here.
Do it from 52 again.
Took a decent job.
Speak to the got one job.
Kicker got one job.
Chicken dinner.
A huge goal line stands right here inside of the red zone, not allowing him to score a touchdown. Once again, you got Patty Mack scrambling around for his life.
Big play there.
Straight to the Super Bowl after that. That was the Mr. OHIO himself, Mr. Sam Hubbard.
Now you got to make a longer field goal.
Yeah, that was
from 44 yards.
he doesn't look good.
The picture that I wasn't the clip of that when they threw that interception. Not that the one to the line, he threw that other interception. Right there where he pouted.
Yeah, we got it.
And now they go deep down the field, and it is intercepted on the rebound.
Big players make big plays at big times.
He is clobbered, close line to the 45.
Big play, man.
Another The Ohio State University.
That's right.
They flooded with Ohio State.
And that's that, we got the safety coverage up top. 2 guys right there. Game winner.
And Cincinnati
Going to
is
LA.
heading to the
See you
Super
in LA.
Bowl.
You see the
He's called it again, I'm sure.
And I didn't get any highlights of right after the Von Bell interception, that Bengals drive in overtime, move the ball right down the field, no problem. Good dosage of Joe Mixon is key. They started running the ball really well there
88 yards,
in the second half. So, Will, I was going to ask you, Bengals go into the halftime, down 21-10, but they're feeling real good about themselves with that stop right before the second half. How did the Bengals hold the Chiefs to only 3 points again in the second half? What did they do on offense or on defense differently?
I believe it still did come down to putting a lot more pressure on Patty, but it was pretty much the secondary held them in contention for long enough to where he was scrambling around and actually trying to look for those passes to become open, and they were starting to get enough pressure on him.
Had Hardman arguing with Hill on the sideline. That's a meltdown. They just had psychological meltdowns all over the field.
That's aided by the Bengals secondary.
So I believe that secondary just held strong enough. Von Bell and Jesse Bates back there with the two strong safeties, and then you have Eli Apple out there. That whole entire defense stood up at the right time and just pretty much didn't let Patty get comfortable. He couldn't roll out and find Kelsey. It was just enough. I don't know really how it happened. It just
one of those things. You get that momentum in the locker room. You come out, just hot and mad. They held the Chiefs, I think, to 3 straight 3-and-outs. If I remember right, the Chiefs only had about 43 yards of offense in the second half we're talking 10 minutes to go in the game. So, hold Kansas City to 24 points, man. That's how you do it.
You got to shed a huge spotlight on that offensive line. That was one of the major problems that we always had.
So we're worried about
season by them allowing pressure on Joe B and him getting hit. They only allowed 1 sack, and that's major coming off of a 9-sack game in Tennessee. Then coming here and only allowing 1 sack, not allowing that pressure to get to him and him to get rattled. And by Joe being able to escape the pressure, stepping up in the pocket, that was huge. So he got 5 carries for 25 yards. That longest one was a critical first down with 11 yards.
Yep.
But 23 pass attempts, or 38 pass attempts and 23 completions, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Like I said, really just sacked that one time. So they got to continue that defensive line for the Rams. Of course, we're going to get into that more, but it doesn't get any easier. So that's the one major issue that they're going to have to continue to watch out for, is just pressure being put on Joe. But as long as he remains cool and confident, he's making the right decisions at the right time, not forcing it. And even when they did get pressure on him, he was just dumping it onto the ground or getting it close where it wasn't an illegal grounding. So he definitely has more of a mind poise for him just to be a second-year player. The maturity that he has he's old.
Second year player.
He's an old soul. Well, and like you said, man, making good decisions.
From championship foundation. Like he's coming from being doing it all, having one of the best seasons ever, right before having one of the bad ones. And then he came out lit as a rookie, and then he came back stronger even as a sophomore, back from the injury. Yeah, but it's good that you brought up the line, because the line is really going to be big in the next game, because they don't need to blitz for real, that next team that y'all going to face. They could just send those 3 monsters that they got. And one of them chokes people on the field. So,
be ready.
Dude, man, Aaron Donald's a dirty player. Speaking of that, I see he is just, gets down there choking them and stuff. CJ Uzomah.
Yeah, right. What's the word with him?
Appears to have a sprained MCL.
Okay, he's going to try to.
We're labeled encouraging by Zach Taylor Monday night after the game.
And I thought that was going to be a huge blow to the offense.
Yeah.
Because, no matter what, you want to have all your bullets inside of that chamber, and to lose one like Uzomah, you still have Tyler Boyd, which was the 3rd outlet, and you have T. Higgins, he came up with a huge game, and already, they're going to force a double team on Jamar Chase, and then they let the safeties play high on Higgins, but you still have Boyd that you have to play for. And I knew that secondary was already weak from the week before when Josh Allen torched the center of their field already. So we already knew where the hole was in that defense, but it comes down to making the right plays at the right time, and thankfully that Zach Taylor finally and the offensive coordinator came up big and was making those calls.
And the D coordinator.
Well, speaking of Uzomah, you mentioned, the offensive line. Tight ends are such a big part, of blocking schemes, that run game. Uzomah's a big part of that. He's been around all season. He's an excellent blocking tight end. So, there's a chance he'll go for the Super Bowl, but, could be one of those key pieces they're missing. So.
They are in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. It's awesome. And that's Joe Burrow's a walking 30 for 30, man. That's if they get it done, you can write that thing right now.
Yeah.
Any other final takeaways?
And that movie starts at Ohio State.
Yep, that's right.
It does.
Yeah, tough loss for the Chiefs, but it did everything they could to get there. It's just the Bengals showed up, stopped them when they need to, came up with big plays when they needed to, slowed down that offense. For the first time in a while, it was nice to see, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes look a little bit out of sorts. And it's a rare thing for Andy Reid to mismanage the clock, waste a timeout here or there, in the middle of that second quarter. So, at home, Chiefs crowd was loud, great weather, so a little bit out of sorts, and it's kind of a rare thing to see, that Bengals defense force the Chiefs, into a little bit of confusion and not, be able to handle the situation. So they still tied it, got into overtime, did everything they could. Yeah, man, tails every time. Don't we know that?
I mean, coming back from that, everybody last week was talking about the overtime rules and should the defense or the other team get a chance.
Never should have went to overtime.
That shows you right there that rule doesn't need to be changed.
Right, there you go.
It depends on if that defense can make a stop.
Yep.
So you either going to win. They say defense wins championships, and that clearly shows you right there. Defense can stand up, and the only thing you got to do is kick a field goal after that. You don't even have to score. So
yeah, that was very, I don't know, poetic story, fitting that all of this debate over the coin toss in Arrowhead the week before. Boom, same thing next week, different result. So
yeah,
that put that to bed pretty quick.
That game never should have went to overtime anyway. The Bills just didn't play the 13 seconds. Right?
yeah,
that's really what it came down to. Forget it never should have went to overtime, Buffalo. Sorry.
Yep.
I'll tell you that.
Joe Mixon, 21 carries, 88 yards, was huge. He added another 3 catches, I think, 27 yards.
Oh,
that's the JP Ryan, man. That play was massive.
Yeah.
That's what you need. He's not on the field for 80% of snaps or even 50% of snaps maybe, but when you're called upon, it's, time to step up. And yeah, T. Higgins, man. Those other routes, when they're going to be looking on that, Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Jamar Chase, all those kinds of things, so. Yeah, it was one for the books. So
they start putting the offense in motion. Things kind of shook it up, opened up the field a little bit more.
Yep.
Versus just trying to line up straight up.
Yeah. All right.
So the Bengals got it done.
Bengals got it done.
Ooh, they 13-4. Say no more. I tried to tell them a long time ago. Never could have fathomed this, man. I mean, I did have a little premonition when me and Jared was talking about it before we went on. I had posted a picture months ago back when they had beat the Ravens for the first time. It was a Super Bowl saying Cincinnati would be in LA, but to actually see this come to fruition is more than I can even fathom.
Now you got one more job.
One more, man.
One more job. We ain't talking about the Super Bowl yet, are we? Are we going to wait till next week to talk Super Bowl?
Yeah, next week. Yeah, next Monday, obviously, they got 2 weeks till the big game, so we'll do a big preview show next Monday. It'll be NBA All-Star, stuff like that. So, and with that, that'll take us over to Matt Stafford, man. New team.
He got it done.
Big time Matt got it done.
Yeah, he definitely got it done. Odell.
All right. We'll roll some NFC highlights, and then we'll dive into the game.
10th play of the drive. Stafford, end zone, pass in the air and picked by
Big
Ward.
Interception is what we needed. I actually bet on Matt
And
Stafford
on the return, Jimmy Ward outside the 20 as K'Wan Williams made that play in the end zone.
LA had a great drive.
K'Wan Williams is in such great coverage here on Cup. A ball that's a little behind, and that causes a deflection. Which would tie a career long for Robbie Gould. And Wisnowski tries to pin the Rams deep. And well played. Trent Sherfield is the one who kept it out of the end zone, and Ross Dwelly down.
Pretty disappointing in my mind.
Stafford, end zone cut. He's got it. Touchdown
Rams. They don't get the third
Rams.
down. They got a punt, and then LA just marches 97 yards down the field.
Second and 12. Samuel, wide receiver screen. Good play. Big play. And
he's tough, man. He was
in for the touchdown.
He takes contact. He keeps going. He's got wheels.
And it is now 21 of 21.
Talking OBJ.
In his post.
He put his heart out there. Niners get a field goal at the end.
Pass is caught. Jennings is going to fight for the first down.
But this was a pretty
second and 11. Garoppolo, end zone. Kittle. Touchdown 49ers.
Kind of focus on the run. Get a good one here to Kittle. We're up 17.
They're down and 1. Stafford, end zone. Cup. Got it. Touchdown Rams. Feeling the pressure tonight.
With a couple big catches there. Cooper Kupp. They ran the ball well.
Stafford airs it out. Jefferson downfield. He's picked. No, dropped. Unbelievable. A drop by Jaquaski Tart. And he cannot believe it. I don't know if he's injured, but he hasn't had enough arm to really get the ball out in the two prior games when he's tried to.
That is a punt.
What an opportunity for the 49ers. It doesn't pan out. And now Beckham, and he gets hit by Jimmy Ward.
Across midfield. Kicks a field goal for points. So
got
to tie game instead
to tie the game at 17.
Trying to increase that lead.
And now delay of game.
Into a field goal, keep it 17-17. Bonehead play here. Shanahan said they had a guy that came in, just went to the wrong side of the field, caused a delay of game. That moved the ball.
Garoppolo has to come out to his right.
Especially if you can't move the ball.
Sideline nearly picked by Ramsey.
Highlight that Jimmy had a guy
on the drop, he had time in the pocket. I'm not sure exactly what took Garoppolo off the left side.
Scrambles around, bad decision. Almost has a pick there.
Stafford throws, pass caught, Cup. Still rumbling.
With like 4 minutes left.
Cup down to the 12.
33 right there from midfield.
He's got it.
So that was kind of the back.
Rams are on top.
33 cross midfield, pick up for like 35 yards. They still hold him. No touchdown.
Garoppolo
force it to a field
under
goal.
pressure.
San Francisco
Donald got there in the air, intercepted by the Rams, and they may ride to the Super Bowl on that.
And there it is.
Aaron Donald with the pressure and Trayvon Howard with the interception. They bring 5, and you see the pressure. Here comes Aaron Donald. Von Miller's back there, and Jimmy Garoppolo just trying to get rid of the ball.
This is not what you do.
And hoping not to take a sack and go backwards any further than he already had.
Yep. But it's still, he's got to find
and
something.
There's Trayvon Howard and the.
So.
Take the sack.
Take the sack, man.
Got one more down. He could have got some.
So, a little less exciting than the Chiefs and Bengals, but still hell of a game. Comes down to a field goal at the last minute. Rivalry game. NFC West is the toughest division in football.
I had 3 teams in it.
But you can't score 17 points and get to the Super Bowl, man. I mean, they did a hell of a job holding the Packers to 10 points.
That was on Rodgers and them.
I mean,
y'all did do good. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to do.
The defense did everything, all of its parts. So, where is it? It just didn't. I mean, the defense held it up. They only had, I think, 2 sacks. The secondary played really well. A couple of bad penalties here and there. Play calling was pretty good. I want them to take more shots down the field, but it's tough to do. I mean, that's why it would have been good to get that pass to Kittle over the middle, like early on. Get Jimmy some confidence. Yeah. And he just airmailed him, he's wide open. So if they could have just got any sort of passing game going, I understand that, they're they run the ball, but, you got to have, it kind of pigeonholes them too much, Yeah,
now it's like, what do y'all do for the offseason? What do the 49ers do for the offseason? But you also got the next quarterback under your roof, but is he ready?
Right. So, and I don't know I don't know the contract status of it, There's big things like that. Jimmy G just, he helped play himself to another deal somewhere else as a quality quarterback.
Backup. I don't see how you cannot depend on
still
Trey
33.
Lance when Jimmy G's not doing a lot. We had said last week that he hadn't passed for more than 175 yards.
It's like 33 and 17 as a starter. like 33 and 17 as a starter.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not all his offensive production though. He's done. I think he coordinates and he's a facilitator pretty much, and he does just enough to get by. When you can hand the ball off to Debo or passes to Debo out of the flats or hit George Kittle over the middle, Brandon Ayuk's out there. You got outlets, but he's not really having to go and get it downfield on a deep ball too much. You don't see him.
When you need the plays like that, it ain't there. And it's, 33 and 17, whatever it is, they've had a top 5, top 8 defense in the league the last all of those years. So there's a lot of other pieces to that. Generally the quarterback gets credit when they win. Sometimes, and they usually get blamed when they lose. But
Jimmy just finds ways to wiggle out of blame.
And we'll see. We'll see. 49ers moving forward. It's Trey. I would imagine he's going to make some massive leaps this offseason. Already has over the season. So all things look like Trey Lance in the Bay. Do a little bit of diving into contracts and things like that. I don't know, keep Jimmy around. I mean, he wins, so be interesting to see what happens. But
Shanahan's guy.
He is Shanahan's guy. So tough one there. But on the flip side of that, Rams. Any you got comments on what the Rams look like? Give me some positives from their play. Do you guys watch it?
Yeah, I did. Since that defense, if they keep showing up, it's going to be scary. That line didn't sack Jimmy G much, but they got to him and hurried him up a lot, and they definitely had him disrupted. So, a couple sacks, but they definitely getting pressure. I like that D-line. Aaron Donald, he seems like he on a mission. I've seen the highlight. He wants the ring. The only thing he said he's missing is a ring. All these all-pros is great. Defensive player of the year, that's cool. Hall of Fame one day, maybe, but he wants to be a champion. So will he get it? We'll see. Could it be the first time 2 back-to-back champions win their home Super Bowl?
Nah, not this year.
Not this year.
I look back to how the Rams played last year and how they let Tom Brady come back from that. They were down 24-3 maybe, and how the way that Tom was able to matriculate and his offense get back into the game when his offense was already sputtering. I think if Cincinnati looks back to that game film, they will be able to find a couple holes in that defense. Sometime when you get Ramsey out of his hookup, you will see him on the sideline pouting a little bit. We've seen Aaron Donald, even though he's looking for that ring, we've seen him cry on the sideline also. So to say that their defense isn't touted, it's really talented, but it does have holes and has flaws like any defense. Cincinnati has holes too, but if you can expose it and actually make those come out, that's another thing. So we obviously see that Cincinnati is able to control the ball or the clock in the second half, which is starting to be more of a routine thing, but it can't be another field goal type game. It has to be won outright for them to actually solidify it early. That's what I would like to see.
One thing I didn't know was Zach Taylor was Sean McVay's quarterback's coach when the Rams were in the Super Bowl against the Patriots in 16 or whatever. I did not know that. And what are these kids, 30? McVay's, I don't know, 8 months older than me.
Right.
Ridiculous, man. Yeah. So, it's a young man's game. That's, Tom Brady, when there were going into the divisional round, Tom Brady was older than, the other coaches in the left. I mean,
but as far
as
wild. Cincinnati's defense too, it's not easy to say things, and then you still have to stop Cooper Kupp, and the way that Beckham is coming alive right now, you still got to worry about Cam Akers out the backfield.
Yep. So some new tight end. I can't remember his name. What the hell was I going to say? Excuse me.
Got 2 weeks of play calling and getting stuff situated. Go ahead.
What I was thinking is about the Bengals. L.A. definitely just has a lot bigger names. Mm-hmm. Which I think has probably helped Cincinnati. They've been under the radar the whole time, going up against Derrick Henry, the big name in Tennessee. going up against Mahomes, a big name. Cincinnati's kind of the, obviously the dark horse.
I think.
But the thing about that defense
is
defense is damn good, and I can't, I can only name a few players on their defense, and and I'm here doing a sports show, so it's like everybody gets, Von Miller, Floyd, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey.
He brought
Eric Weddle.
They brought him out of retirement.
I mean, Rams have got the big blockbuster names. Cincinnati doesn't, but it appears they are both excellent defenses.
Yeah, they're very team-oriented defense. Like collectively, I think they was top 5 in sacks.
So defense wins ships, man, like they say.
Hey, Cincinnati just got to get after that quarterback the same way they did it to Patty Mack, Henderson, and Hubbard. They just got to keep on firing on all cylinders. And if that can happen, you get the Logan Wilson, and he can continue to play that linebacker strong. That secondary is finally looking. I'm satisfied with those safeties and Von Bell and Jesse Bates. I think they're one of the best secondaries, not bias or homer type pick, but
there's some good safeties.
Yeah. And these are guys that, Cincinnati's whole team is very young. And there's another thing you need to hit on while you're young is success, because as these guys develop and become premier players, they're going to start wanting to get paid, and that usually breaks it up. So, when you can take a young team.
They could double down. There's so much of, even win or lose, there's so much of this. There's so much stuff that they could do this offseason because Joe Burrow is still in this rookie deal.
Yeah, and their salary cap is so low. They have probably one of the second or third salary caps.
On some different type vibes now. That it's a new atmosphere there because the owner don't got the best record.
Yeah, but when you got somebody like Joe, people's going to want to come play with him. Offensive linemen are actually going to want to come at the same way they did with Brady. I think Joe B could be one of the newer Bradys. It's amazing that we lost Brady and Roethlisberger in the same season. That's enabling for.
Well, we don't know yet for Brady.
If he comes back,
he's done.
Yeah, but the AFC North opened back up. I said that at the beginning, in the middle of the season. AFC was wide open.
Lamar has something to say about that next year.
We're going to see because he said he was going to have something to say this season, and the Cleveland Browns are supposed to be in the Super Bowl this season. Yeah, the Browns is
the letdowns right now. That's what they are. But the Ravens. I mean, Ravens got outside of them going for it, because I blame Harbaugh for why they didn't make the playoffs. But the Ravens as a whole, Lamar was doing a Superman the whole year and end up getting
they've been all beat up.
Yeah, so the Ravens wasn't healthy this year. So I would like to see a healthy Ravens and a healthy Bengals now match up, because that looked like the new blood. And unless they get the Steelers get Aaron Rodgers, I don't care who get Aaron Rodgers, just get him up out of the North.
Yeah, looks like he's headed to Denver. One interesting thing I did see was
what if he's headed to San Francisco?
Jimmy G. Jimmy G is the second odds-on favorite to be the Browns' starting quarterback next year. Oh yeah. Yep. Baker's a favorite, obviously, to return, but then he's a close, money line, close-wise Vegas. So. That's the thing about the Bengals. You say, dude, guys do want to play for Joe Burrow, and that's one thing that the Zach Taylor, that coaching offense has taken into account is they've him and Chase played together, and you talked about their lineman, Skelton or whatever his name is, the old LSU guy. That's not his right name, but anyway, former guys that have chemistry. It's those intangibles. You trust each other. You bond well. All of those things that you can't find on a stat sheet. And, they're in the Super Bowl. So
that team is fun. They're exciting. They're kind of what the game's been missing. When you have, I like to say that Belichick regime is kind of when you had Greg Popovich in San Antonio. It was so
very good comparison.
Meticulous. It was so kind of that Chinese army type, Jin Wang Lu or whoever his name is, Kim Wang Lu. I don't know, but it's definitely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let it go.
Yep, moving on. But you're right, man.
It was too much of just basic football. This team right here, they have fun. It seems, how when a couple of years ago when Patrick Mahomes was first getting his feet solidified, you were seeing more of that backyard type football. And I think Cincinnati brings that kind of aspect too, but they do have a structured formation that they're kind of flowing with right now. So it's a lot of talent on that team, but it has to just continue to blossom, and they just got to stay focused because we're there, but at the same time, it can quickly be shut down. So,
dude, that's a good call. Well, yeah, Bengals look like they're having fun. No Patriots Super Bowl team ever looked like they were having fun. So it's good to see on the other side of it.
Yeah, the Buccaneers have fun.
Yeah, you're right. They did have fun.
Yeah.
Especially on the float parade.
Yeah, threw the trophy. Yeah, he's not doing that in Boston.
We've sort of touched on them. We're at the halfway point. Let's do our ballers of the week. Oh, let me get them in here. All right, take it away, fellas.
So,
who wants to start?
I wanted to go to coaching staff. I thought about giving them some shout-outs because they put up.
Do it verbally then.
Give
them your statement. Give me your honorable mention.
Zach Taylor and I forgot dude's name. What's your defensive coordinator name? I had it. I texted it.
And Anarumo?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
I'll Google it real quick.
Anarumo, maybe. But yeah, they put together a great game plan. So shout out to them too, because I know Zach Taylor called the plays for the offense. So they put together a great offensive game plan. They even figured out how to get Chase involved a little bit because the Chiefs put a good game plan to kind of take him out early on. They did the same thing with Diggs, but I guess Dayball didn't.
Anarumo.
Yeah. So yeah, him.
Yep.
The defensive coordinator for the Bengals. But that's not I ain't want to do that, though. But shout out to them because they put together a great game plan and they work.
That's what we need to do, man. Give credit where credit is due. Coaching staffs never do.
They definitely got the players, and the players is the ballers. But
that's right.
Coaches put together a strategic game plan, and the players execute.
Players in position to make plays.
Yep. All right,
players definitely executed. But my baller of the week is a man that they've been talking about. OBJ.
Got you. Bam. There you go. Get him. He always looked mad. Dude just runs on
9 catches,
like
113 yards, 12.6 per catch. 26 was his long, which I think that was the big play that ended up turning into the penalty. The helmet. I think that was like a 26.
Yep.
Pass.
Used his noggin to draw a huge. What do they call that? Unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, where's my stat at?
But yeah, he looks good. He's dangerous. And speaking of having fun and looking happy, man, dude looks like he got out of cold, crummy Cleveland, and he moved to the sunshine in the Bay of L.A.
Got out of a bad relationship to end up with a supermodel.
Bang. There you go, man. You nailed that.
Oh, here it is right here.
You on the money there.
Yeah, so basically, OBJ in his 10 games with the Rams, he's already got 48 catches, 541 yards, 6 touchdowns. And with his 6 games with the Browns, 17 catches, 232 yards, no touchdowns. Now, people want to say OBJ was the problem. I think not. We don't know what the problem is in Cleveland. It could just be the air in Cleveland. Cleveland need to figure out how to get some of that Cincinnati air. I mean, it might help be refreshing. But, yeah, man, my baller of the week is OBJ, man. He's definitely been balling out. I'm interested to see what he do in the Super Bowl. We ain't talking about who's going to win or lose yet, but I would like to see him get a ring. That would be dope, but I ain't picking
Nope.
Yeah. That'd be hard, but we'll see how it goes.
Just a solid nope.
We ain't talking about that right now, but that's my baller of the week, and everything that's coming right now is well deserved.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair though. You can say you want him to get a ring.
Yeah, I didn't say I
like this year, just at some point.
I didn't. He could marry his woman. That could be a ring right there. I ain't say he's gonna win the championship. But we can talk about that when we get.
All right,
for now, he's my baller of the week. I could have been Cooper Kupp, but he's more so obviously Triple Crown winner.
Dude, man,
I think the right sidekick. Yeah, OBJ.
Cooper Kupp just 100 yards and 2 touchdowns every game, man, like clockwork. It's ridiculous.
Definitely a baller. So.
And my baller of the week is the dude who delivers those footballs to those dudes. The man who has needed it for like 12 years. The man who has never been to a playoff game. The man who's never been to a Super Bowl. Because much like OBJ, he got out of a crappy relationship and married a supermodel, or at least a head coach that runs a very quarterback-friendly offense. My guy, Matt Stafford. Big Matt Stafford fan. He's helped me in a couple of fantasy football leagues as well. So, dude's gotten it done.
He led the
dude
league
played
in
he's in the Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, he is, though. That's what's up.
31 for 45, 337, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Probably should have had another pick. He was throwing dimes, hanging in the pocket. He was getting some pressure quite a bit. He can move around, but he got it done. So credit where credit is due, unfortunately.
He threw the ball 45 times.
My guy didn't ball out on the other side. So that's, another thing. If you can throw the ball 45 times with no problem, Matt Stafford, he makes good decisions. He's a good quarterback. So looking to see what kind of performance he puts up in the Super Bowl against the Bengals. Will, who you got, my guy?
You know who I got, man. Get the gat.
Got him.
I got to go with Joe Brr.
We got him.
Joe B. And I have to give a huge shout out to Von Bell, who solidified the game.
Yes,
They got
sir.
the interception from Patty Mack. I got to give a huge shout out to McPherson, Mr. Wendy himself. Continue to go 4 for 4.
Shooter McPherson.
Go to Wendy's right now.
heard that
Mention
one.
that's debatable. You will get a 4 for 4 for $4. So, and the crispy fries that come on the side. So Cincinnati is definitely cooking right now in the right way. But that team is led by, you see both of those guys have those C's on their chest, and they have great chemistry right now on that team. I think that's one of the better things that we have going. That chemistry is really a cohesive unit right now. And so they just got to continue to go forward. And you see the stats right there, 23 for 38. The QBR was under 100 this time, but it's still just enough to get it done. 250 yards delivered for sure. That offensive line finally seemed to be set in the right direction. So
yes, sir.
It's not too much more we have to really tune up, but of course you have to, because everybody's coming with their A game in the Super Bowl. But I believe by them getting that huge win over Kansas City, that gives them a mental boost in the right direction.
I don't know, man.
All right.
Usually free money. They still playing with all the pressure's on the Rams.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say,
with house money.
This is where we usually do our Will Ward's top 10. So we only got 2 teams left. So, Will, you want to rank them real fast?
I'm still going, no bias. The Cincinnati got to be number 1, because I really don't trust that offense in LA. They look good, but that defense is playing a lot better on Cincinnati side. And by them being able to stop Tyreek, I mean, you look at the receiver core, you got Cooper Kupp and Odell, you got Higbee at the tight end spot, you got Cam up the back. Like,
right.
I don't feel that offense is going to dictate more than what Kansas City could have. Well, you have to stop Derrick Henry in Tennessee. You had Derek Carr. That offense wasn't much. Him and Renfro. But the
Josh Jacobs is still a beast.
The course, yeah, Josh Jacobs is nice. But the course that Cincinnati take to get here, I like them more over LA. Of course, Vegas has them ranked. I think it's 3.5 right now, favorite. But I think Cincinnati.
4. It's 4. Yeah, 4 point.
I thought it dropped down after this morning.
I don't know. We'll have to
It
look.
started off at 4. I believe it's at 3.5. But hey, I'm not a gambler, man. I barely even know what that means, anyways.
Dude, right? Come on. Speaking of, if my guys out there, shout out Brandon. My homie was on fire yesterday. He had parlays, props. He was crushing it. We found a good new podcast too that we've been chatting on. So maybe we'll get to a sports betting segment on here. Maybe I'll open up with 5 minutes or something. But Rams are a 4-point favorite. Like my guy says here, I don't know how you can't take the Bengals, man. They love being underdogs, and they've been getting it done. So with that, that'll wrap up our championship weekend. It's a doozy. Next week, we'll have the big Super Bowl preview. We can get into all sorts of stuff. We'll open up the phone lines. Maybe we can get some people calling in. Talk about the year. Maybe we'll do some recap things. So anyway, 7:40. We got about 20 minutes left. We'll get into NBA action. Let's see. NBA announced.
Are we talking the hires? How many coaches?
Oh, yeah. If you want to briefly touch on that.
Like, who got Brian Daboll just went to the Giants. Dolphins still looking for a guy. Vikings still looking for a guy. Of course, the Vikings just hired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah he's from out of Cleveland, coming from the Cleveland organization. He was in that. But real strong resume, like Princeton. Like, it's crazy, man.
He's their new GM.
Yeah, he's our new GM. New GM for the Minnesota Vikings.
And who is he pegged as? Who are his head coaching?
Our
favorites.
Head coaching favorites. Which what is the problem with Eric Bieniemy? Can somebody please inform me? But
maybe he's not.
That's fine. D'Amico Ryans, he's cool. I mean, I'm kind of for the black head coaches, but he's still new, and I don't want a defensive coordinator as the head coach because if we strike gold on our offensive coordinator, he's just going to leave to become a head coach. So we got to go the way the NFL is going, and that's how I feel about that. Jim Harbaugh got a call. I don't know why he even in that office. He could stay up north. Don't go.
He wants a pay. He needs a pay raise, man.
Yeah, man. Not in Minnesota. That's because of who just took his job? He was rumored for Oakland. I mean, the Vegas. Dude from Josh McDaniels just went to Vegas. So he was rumored with there. Then next thing you know, he's linked to us. Yeah, I'm interested in. No, you're not, bro. Get out of here. I don't need him. But I like Kevin O'Connell. I guess he's got to be the choice. Ding, ding, ding. Rams are in the Super Bowl. And he's an offensive coordinator. So he won't leave. I say so too much, too. I didn't mean to even. But he's an offensive coordinator, so I ain't got to worry about him leaving. I'm cool with Kevin O'Connell. I like the Rams offense. Maybe he can steal some stuff, and he can figure out how to. As long as, that's all cool, fine and dandy. But the question is, what are they gonna do with Kirk Cousins?
He's coming back, right?
Don't nobody know. I'm seeing a lot of trades and trade talk. He's all over the place. He's rumored to.
I don't
Cleveland.
know what I'm thinking. I think I'm. Never mind.
He's rumored to Cleveland. He's rumored to Pittsburgh.
Right.
No, he's rumored all over the place, except for coming back here. But don't nobody know what's coming back here. I know we're a dark horse for a quarterback that's in Texas, but we'll see how that goes.
And the other one to note would be the Denver Broncos. They hired former Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach.
Yeah, definitely a ploy to get Rodgers.
Definitely a pull to get Rodgers there. So big news in Denver. A good new offensive coordinator as a head coach that replaces Vic Fangio, who was a defensive coordinator. Like we've been talking about, you need points in the NFL. San Francisco's defense can hold them to 20, but you can't score more than 20. So we'll see what Denver can do with a new OC from Green Bay. And like you said, maybe that gets Aaron Rodgers to the Mile High City, and maybe his fiance having a house in Boulder would have something to do with that as well. And then, like Jared threw in there, Raiders hired Josh McDaniels as their new head coach.
Somebody hired Gutenflute. No, what's his name?
Gutekunst.
No, not Gutekunst.
He's in Green Bay, right?
Yeah, that's the general. No, it's who just got a job?
Anyway,
man.
All right,
the Bears head coach. That's what it is. The Bears head coach is like Gutenflute or something like that. But I don't know how he got a job either, but. He came out of nowhere.
Oh, Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
New head coach, Matt Eberflus.
Yes.
All right, new guy in Chicago. He was the former, Indianapolis Colts defensive coordinator for the last 3 years. The Colts have had a stout defense for the last few years. So, Matt Eberflus,
guy as the head coach, the coordinator
headed
just going to leave
to the Bears. And so anyway, there's NFL head coaching shakeup. There's a couple others you keep your eye on. Miami, obviously, some things like that. But 15 minutes to go, so let's dive into the NBA. NBA All-Stars, the NBA All-Star captains were announced, and the NBA All-Star starters were announced. The All-Star reserves are announced, I think, on Friday, February 3rd. If I'm not mistaken. Thursday, February 3rd. So let me find my... All right. And, of course, the captains. You can probably guess who's that's going to be. LeBron and KD. Two highest receiving votes, I believe. And as it's got on there on the graphic, the NBA All-Star Game is Thursday, February 10th at 6:30 Eastern on TNT. those are the two captains. Let me see and pull up your All-Star East and West starting 5. So from the East, obviously, KD, Giannis, Joel Embiid. A little bit surprised to see DeMar DeRozan and Trae Young on there. Those two have definitely been balling out this year. And then your West, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, Ja Morant, and I'm surprised to see Andrew Wiggins on there as well.
Trae Young should not be on there.
Mark his words, and why not?
Number one.
Tell me why Trae Young should not be an All-Star.
I had this issue with them a couple years ago when he got the starting nod over Jimmy and what Jimmy did for the Heat at that point in time. He shouldn't have been a starter then, but fans love him, so that's really why he get it. But I feel like it should no bias at all, But it should be Zach LaVine. The Bulls definitely at the time of the voting, we were the number 1 seed. He was top 5 in scoring. He dropped down to 24, so he's averaging 25 points now since he came back from COVID. Well, since he came back from the injury, but he was top 5 in the league. He definitely should be the All-Star starter. You can also, some people make a case for Darius Garland, and which I'm not mad at that either. But Trae Young, that's just
no dice. All right,
he's just a fan favorite. I mean, I'm not saying he's undeservingly to being an All-Star, but I mean,
not a
you're
starter.
the leader of that ship. He's been healthy, only missed 3 games, and they're 10th, 24, and 25. They're under 500. His numbers look good, but they're not getting wins. So I don't understand how he's a starter. I mean, well, I do understand. It's because the fans vote.
Right. Which is kind of cool. Did you vote? I did not vote for any All-Stars.
This year I didn't vote. I should have voted.
Just
because I should. What if Zach LaVine was 1 vote away? Then my bad. That's on me.
Apologize now.
Yeah, that's on me. But they was kind of upset that DeMar DeRozan is listed as a guard when he's our starting small forward, but he's a forward guard. He's a hybrid, but I still say Zach LaVine should have been in there. All right. Interesting enough, it wasn't James Harden. I thought James Harden was going to get the nod over Zach, and then I would have been like, Zach should have been starting over him because James Harden been playing like 3.
All right. Well, I wonder if we can still vote for the reserves or not. But
nah, the reserves is the coaches.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, 80% of the starting vote is the fans, and 80% of the starters is the fans vote, as in I think the other 20% is the media.
Is the All-Star game in Cleveland this year, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. How attractive is that All-Star game being in cold Cleveland? You know, you want to go up to the game.
It was a good city, though, man.
It's a good city, but it's February almost. And we're looking at, they're saying 16 inches of snow here in Ohio coming up Thursday.
If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, you going to the parade?
I will be there 100% sure.
So.
Rain, sleet, or snow. Yeah, not a doubt.
Exactly, see? So it's the same thing.
All right.
But when you think of certain things, but I'm saying that the All-Star break festivities,
Miami.
Yeah, you think of the nice temperature.
Cleveland rocks. I mean, just don't listen.
There you go, dude. Cleveland rock.
Just don't listen to Joakim Noah's bit of Cleveland. Then you're fine.
All right, there's our NBA All-Stars, and let's talk a little hot NBA action.
I want to see where Jared got Brooklyn sliding right now. I see they're 29 and 20 at the 6th spot, and KD's still out. But
so
who would have thought that Cleveland would have been over Brooklyn?
And who would have thought that the Bulls would still be a top 2 seed in the East?
Right.
Man, I didn't. I kind of had this pegged at 3-4 range, but to come out the gate 1, which I know we had a setbacks due to injuries. Everybody right now is just scratching and clawing for this All-Star break. Yeah, where I got Brooklyn, out of respect, they're going to remain in this tier unless I really see like 10 games under 500. Then maybe I'll drop them. But out of respect, I understand that KD's out. They also got a superstar playing half the games, and they got a superstar that when he do play, sometimes he don't show up. So you can pick who's who. But I understand what's going on in Brooklyn. But I know when they come complete, just like why the Bucks is right there. I would like the Bucks should be, and we like that. But they can't be because they just lost to the Cavs. Now, if I was to update this, this is the one without the Grizzlies in it, but the Grizzlies is in grind time. So, if I was to update this, the Cavs would probably be a lot of teams of the East is in grind time right now. Everybody's just grinding it out. For those others, them people who got championship aspirations, not people, those teams that has championship aspirations, but it still got to work on stuff. Of course, in the 7-game series, you could bank on Giannis, you could bank on KD. We don't know what the Bulls could really do. Jazz is a Jazz. I think Ingles just went down with an ACL.
I did see something about
MCL, that. But he might be out.
He plays for the Jazz, right?
Yep. He's out for the season.
Ingles. What's his first name?
Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles. Yeah, he's from overseas.
You got that.
Which is also why they lose in the playoffs, because the overseas players do got the jump shot, but they don't got the people to guard the other wings. And Gobert isn't really a factor.
Is he still hurt?
No, I thought he was back. No, he was back.
All right.
Yeah, Miami's Miami. They a bubble. They made it to the championship as a bubble team, so they get this type of championship respect. I don't want to just totally blow over Miami though. They looking to get John Wall. The Bulls need to make some moves. Everybody in this tier need to make some moves, because there's a lot of teams on them lower tiers that's in lay it down that could help all of these teams right here, including the team that's not in there because I forgot them, the Grizzlies. But they're young and turned. I think they well-rounded all over, so they just got to figure out how to win in a 7-game series, and who knows, they could be in the finals. If the Bengals could do it, why can't the Grizzlies? Because Ja is like Joe. Them some cold brothers.
Ja's like Joe. I like that. Yeah, Ja's playing an incredibly high clip.
Yeah.
I was going to say, with the All-Star break coming up, what team or couple of teams does the All-Star break benefit the most? Whether it's guys getting healthy, just need a break.
Everybody in this tier. I mean, the All-Star break is pretty much going to benefit every single team. The only team that look like they could just keep going as is the Suns, and they're on a 10-game streak right now.
That might the All-Star, does the All-Star break ever, eliminate that? Like, Suns are on a 10-game hot streak.
Could they come back out cold? Yeah. It depends on how they handle it. And if they still understand there's still a mission to accomplish coming out of the break, they should still be with their foot on the gas. I think Chris Paul, Monty Williams are going to have that team still looking like that. We just got to see them.
Yeah, Chris Paul wouldn't let that happen, though. He wouldn't. All right,
and they still got a young superstar on that team. Chris Paul he's the floor general, but he's not the best player. Still Devin Booker. So I think he still won it. He still won it. So. The question is what the teams like the Warriors who need this break gonna do. Maybe the Grizzlies might not need this break either. They could just keep just going without a break.
I got you. Suns and Warriors keep rolling. Yeah. Monty Williams is he the West coach? Is that right?
Yep.
For the All-Star game. All right. How about?
So who's gonna be the East coach? It's just because they got we've been in the number one. See, I thought it was gonna be my guy, Billy Donovan, but it might not be, because right now the Heat is the 1 seed, but they a half game up.
How the Cavs looking?
Cavs looking good. Cavs will be next time. Cavs will be in grind time. Cavs will move up.
Okay.
Cavs and Mavs, Sixers.
Yeah, Sixers.
Cavs,
have been
Mavs,
well.
Sixers all move up now. Well, the Sixers. See, the Mavs do show up. Well, Mavs might move over. Cavs and Sixers move up next time, but we'll see by the time we had the show next week, because I'm gonna update it before the All-Star break.
Yeah, for sure.
Lakers is still below 500. They win some. Oh, AD's back. Yay, we got our mojo. We lose a couple, then they lose a couple. Now the Lakers is back. Lakers is 3 games below 500. It's crazy that the Wizards was at one point the 1 seed. We took the 1 seed from them. So I guess that was even crazier. And the Wizards done fell down. The Wizards all the way 23 and 26, 3 games below 500. So the Wizards finally showing who they are, which pretty soon they might be falling to lay it down. They might still have hope, but they might as well lay it down. Bradley Beal.
All right.
Get up out of there.
Free bad to Beal. All right.
Get up out of there. Who else in here? Denver. Jokic just keep up. He's looking like an MVP night in, night out, but it's just not enough help.
They're 5th in the Western Conference, just ahead of the ahead of the Mavs.
Man. Yeah, they on a 5-game win streak. Yeah, they 5th in the Western Conference, and Jokic is still, I think he might be MVP favorite. He shouldn't be, but right now the best player in the league is looking like Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Joel Embiid's on a tear. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 7-3.
Still without Ben Simmons, and they just making it work. They gotta
just do it himself.
They playing an old school style, but with a hybrid new school, old school big man. So he's really the true definition of a hybrid big. Cause he's really take you down low, barbecue chicken, take you to the post, mid range, 3-point.
All of that.
I watched him bring it up.
We getting closer to that All-Star.
Bring it up the game.
You think they're going to make any moves for Ben, or is somebody's going to anybody make
every trade that's been offered for Ben so far, they're declining.
Why is that?
Maybe they just don't like the trades enough. It was a trade from the Kings.
Well, and also that if I was trying to get Ben Simmons, I'd be lowballing the heck out of the Sixers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
dude hadn't performed, all these issues off the court, on the court, etc. Like, I wouldn't offer him much. I mean, so I could see that just getting lowballed. Want to try and neglect all that.
They're asking for too much and not get declined. So
I was gonna say,
a move is gonna happen though, because the next time I make this is looking like the Blazers is about to lay it down too.
Yeah, Blazers have been struggling. I was gonna say Nuggets rolled the Bucks last night, I think. Yesterday, beat them by 36.
The Western Conference,
or maybe the day before.
Like the old East.
West is tough for sure.
It's not. Bottom half.
Or the East is tough. That's what I meant. Excuse me.
The bottom half is a bunch of debables.
There's a big
There's a bunch of debables.
There's a big gap in play. All right, that brings us up. Any last notes on the NBA? Looking for anything up to the All-Star break? We'll get new levels.
It's just we wait. Yeah, new levels.
We'll get them.
Really just waiting on this trade deadline to see who gonna get what out of Indy. Cool. The Pelicans is trying to look like a play-in team, so I guess they can make the play-in tourney. And there's still no Zion. We still ain't seen Zion. The last time we seen him, he was smashing a chair somewhere, overweight. But all these teams at the bottom, they either young and didn't need to figure out what moves to be made. Some teams about to fall. You got they only lost one. I guess they 5-5 in their last 10, but the Blazers are still wishy-washy. McCollum that came back, but it's still not looking good. They might as well lay it down.
Gotcha.
Not even off the strength of their record. Just they need a fresh start. They got a new coach, and they still dealing with old problems.
Gotcha. All right. Out of the NBA. And let's see. Will, I've got your picture. What was that? High school hoops, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Will's going to give us a little rundown. What was this over the weekend?
So that was Friday. I was Linden versus Northland. And that right there is my young guy, Rob Dorsey. He played one heck of a game against Linden. There's a battle for the North Division in basketball right now. Columbus Northland played against Linden. Linden, they were 2-3. They were both at, give me 1 second. They were both at number 2 behind Beechcroft. Linden and Beechcroft actually plays tomorrow. I'll be at that game collecting some highlights. If Linden happens to beat Beechcroft, it's going to set up a number 1 versus number 2, which is going to be the following Tuesday against Northland. So that game right there, they really put on a good show. But I also have my Score 30 coming up, and for anybody that's interested, I am still looking for a gym to hold the venue. I want to do it Sunday, so anybody out there listening, share this right now. Between the hours of 12 and 2 on Sunday, it's getting crunch time, so I'm looking for a gym. Anybody rec centers have the crew here at Score on Air already available. We're just looking for a window of 12 and 2. The couple of gyms that I had looked at, they actually got booked. So anyone that has a gym available, a basketball gym available, or whether a rec center, any school, just hit me in my inbox. Will Ward
Johnson, you can hit Byron up.
Right. So anybody information set me in the right direction, but it's just from 12 to 2:30 on this coming up Sunday. That's about the best opening window that I could find on our schedule here at Score on Air. So let's continue to look forward. We have some hockey games coming up this weekend. A lot in the Score on Air network as always. But shout out to my man Rob Dorsey. He's going to be a part of my Score 30.
Excellent. Love to hear it. All right. I've got Ohio State yesterday. Ohio State College.
Failed to Purdue by a buzzer beater.
Yeah, dude. Ohio State men's basketball lost a close one at Purdue. Ohio State was down about 9-10 most of the game, made a great comeback. They were down 20 at one point in the second half. Ohio State held strong, made a good comeback, kept closing. Zed Key got into some foul trouble early on. Edey for Purdue, who I believe is 7-4 and on the Naismith list, was dominating the boards. Also, they've got this cat named Jaden Ivey, who's probably the front runner for the Naismith Award this year. So 2 studs out of Purdue, but Ohio State got it down to tied it, going down to the buzzer, and this happened.
Hunter, the senior, guarded by the freshman Branham, puts it on the deck down to 4 seconds. Hunter in the corner, Ivey for the win.
Bang, at the buzzer, there you are.
Nice fade away.
Tough one. So heck of a shot there. But Ohio State, did all they could to get back, where it was, they had a shot. Excuse me. Can't talk. I think that's all I got. You boys got anything else?
Hit my video if you can still have it pulled
yes,
up.
Sir.
Just a little highlight video you can actually close out with it if you want. I don't know how much time we got left, but
yes, sir.
Shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals. We here now. It's one more game to take care of business. Joe B, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, Mr. Higgins, and of course, the Rookie of the Year, Mr. Jamar Chase. The rest of that defense keeps stepping up.
Dude, man, comeback player of the year, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow. Man, big turnaround from last weekend. So
from worst to first.
What's Joe's best nickname?
Joe Brr. I like that one, man. Joe Cool.
Joey Franchise.
Joe Shiesty.
Joey Franchise, man. He is the franchise.
I just like
That's
Joe
what you
Burrow,
want.
man. It puts some respect on that young man's name.
There you go.
Bright future.
Come here, little Joseph.
That's when you switch your mode.
Big boy Joseph.
Future gonna be real bright in Cincinnati for a long time. So just get ready. The AFC North gonna be something to reckon with. Like my man said, Lamar Jackson, he gonna come back with a vengeance. You're still gonna get my guy. J.K. Dobbins going to come back. He's going to be healthy and stronger. You're going to see A.B. Antonio Brown stay here first. He might end up in the Ravens uniform next year.
Yep.
So
I tweeted that
stuff still to be done, but we got one more job to take care of in Cincinnati. L.A., we coming.
Yep. Super Bowl preview next week. San Francisco. Oh, I got one. It was a hell of a season. So thanks to my guys, Deebo Samuel making himself a superstar in the league. Jimmy G, it's been good. It's Trey time. Looking forward to the crew again. So good shot there from the Niners social media. As always, thanks for tuning in.
How many people in that picture still?
One more time, if you're still looking for this right here, you hit up Smith Custom Design and Woodworks.
There you go.
On Facebook. Just type it in, Smith Custom Design and Woodworks. My guy Alex Smith gonna take care of you. Looking for this nice piece of woodwork right here. Who they?
All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. With that, we'll take it out of here with Wills. Get that gat. Highlight that.
Get the gat.
All right.
Gat.
Peace.
I say right foot creep, ooh, walking with that heater. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch some bad, walk down, face them with that heater. The devil under your feet, you're on your way to see him. Stretch me when I can't sleep, bang out when I see you. Play with me, you can't sleep, we got into the C-shoe. You won't have no case rearrange your shit soon as they face you. You won't have no space, we in your section till we spray you. Put your mess on, they coming off. Soon as they close that door, we just gon' walk down. They say we did wrong, cause we knocked him out. But he who got caught lacking, tell that that's his fault. If we draw down, guns get let off. And all them clowns, including the spouse. Kept that blick inside my drawers. Every time I walk the dog. I work for Tim and So CDs. You throw a diss and you get tossed. Say you ain't catch that, cross my name up, ain't no talk.